friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited. I am bringing back the coffee break videos. I used to do these videos all the time where I would sit down with a cup of coffee and I would film during my actual coffee break that I would have at work. So they were very fast, quick topics where we were just gonna have a quick life chat basically and hang out together during my breaks. And then I stopped doing those. And I feel like, especially given the topic of today's video, that would be a really great thing to bring back on my channel because they're fun, they're fast, and they're great ways of just communicating quick information or just having I don't know, life chats with you guys. And they also are not super time consuming in terms of filming, editing, uploading, and the whole thing. So I am excited to bring these back and I hope you enjoy it as well. And that really leads me to what today's topic is really about, and that is my unbelievable schedule and how many things I have put on myself. And none of these are things that I can I can't blame anybody else. I can't be upset with anybody else because these are not things that other people are putting on my time. I have so many responsibilities and things that I have put on my own schedule, and I don't want to get rid of any of them. And it's not working. So what do I mean? So as you know, I am a single mom to two of the cutest, sweetest, most adorable little children on the freaking planet. These kids just completely keep me running from the second we wake up until the second they are in bed. They are my favorite. But with being a parent, they also have responsibilities. They have homework to do. First of all, backtrack. First, we have to get up at a certain time. They have to get out the door to get to the bus. If they miss the bus, I have to take them. Then they get off school. I have to go pick them up from the bus. They have homework to do. They have piano and violin lessons that we have to do each week. Right now we're doing the lessons at home, and we haven't been great about keeping up with them because, of course, the kids have been in school all day long. The last thing they want to do is come home and do lessons or do homework. They just want to play. So trying to get them on a routine is really tricky. And after they go to bed, that's when I have shit to do. It's where my crazy ADHD brain comes in. I have a full-time job that I work 40 hours a week while the kids are in school. I have my YouTube channel that I really want to be more consistent and really put time and attention into this channel. I have my book that I am writing and I really want to finish within the next couple of months. I also have the Indie Bookworm, which is my love and baby. It is my website that I put together to help promote indie books and indie authors. I also need to be doing a lot to promote the Indie Bookworm and keep it up and maintain it and add new books to it and new blog posts and do a newsletter. There's so much that goes into running the Indie Bookworm. And I also started a podcast with my friend Ben Beverly. See, here's the problem. I have a lot of things that I am excited about and passionate about and things that I want to do and this life that I envision for myself and my boys. And I don't want to give a single one of these things up. In December, I sat down with a big YouTuber who does a lot of productivity videos, and she was doing these it was supposed to be an hour and kept being a 30-minute productivity call with her. And it was supposed to be on her channel, but due to her scheduling, it ended up not being uploaded. She ended up still doing the calls with everybody, but only uploading a couple, which is fine. I wanted to talk with her. It wasn't about the YouTube views. Anyways, so this YouTuber was really kind of telling me that I had too much on my plate and I should not focus on the book and the channel. And as soon as she said that and I hung up the call, I was like, she's really smart, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to give any of these things up. I don't want to stop the podcast that I just started. We have an intro episode, our episode 0 is up because we needed to get something to get all of the things. We actually just recorded the first official episode today, and that is going to come up. I think that's going out on Monday. So I don't want to not write my book. That's my biggest dream. I'm obviously not going to cancel school. I'm not going to cancel my podcast. I also have something else that I'm starting soon that's all kind of part of the Indie Bookworm. But that's also going to take up a chunk of time. And obviously I'm not going to stop doing YouTube. I also have Instagram to help, that's a whole other avenue. So YouTube/social media. I don't want to give up any of these things. But I also want to read. And I want to be present with my children. And I want to watch TV shows and sometimes just lose myself in a show. So how am I going to do all of that? Like, how in the world am I going to do all of that? I can't. It's not working, you guys. It has not been working. So about a few weeks ago, I just shut down and I just started like binge watching TV and not doing any of it. Because that's the problem. And a lot of this, I don't know if this is me stuff or if this is ADHD, hyper focus and then losing focus or overwhelm. I don't know what it is. But what happens is I get these ideas and then I am like all about that idea. And then it gets stressful and I lose interest. Or I don't really lose interest because I'm still interested in all these things, but I just like lose the motivation, I should say. It's not so much that I lose interest, it's that I get overwhelmed and then I just completely shut down. I don't take care of my body. I don't work out. I don't eat right. I binge food. Like I sit around and I'm a potato. So what I've been doing for the last couple weeks is I sat down one day and I was like, okay, I'm a planner girl and I have not been writing in my planners. So first of all, that's not working for me. I missed 2 deadlines for school. There were small things that didn't even have like a point value to them, so it didn't really matter, but I still missed the deadline on them. And so I had to look at it and say, okay, if I have, these are like essentially like the time blocks that I have. I also have this beautiful home that I absolutely love and I need to maintain. So what do I need to do in order to be present with my kids, focus on my job during the day, keep up with my housework, and still have time for writing, reading books, and doing any of the many side hustle projects that I have going. And what I realized is I need to just start by reverse engineering my schedule, right? So I know that from 7 to 4, basically, I'm unavailable because that's like kind of my working hours. Sometimes I get off at 3:30, sometimes I start at 7:15, I get off at 3:45. So basically from 7 to 4, I'm completely unavailable for things. Also, my kids, obviously, when they're home with me, they are the priority. So they get home from school at 3:30, I'm unavailable, but we still need to, I want to get back to having dinner together at the table, not having dinner together in the living room or me making them dinner, letting them watch TV while they eat, and I cook something else later or I do something while they're eating. We all sit down together at the table every night at 6. I just sit down and make them a schedule too. So I like printed out the same schedule for both of us. I'll kind of put up a picture of the one that I have for myself on here. And then I was like, okay, so, and then they go to bed at 7:30 to 8. So I want them like going into bed at 7:30. I snuggle them, we read a little bit, and then 8 p.m. is the like, love you, don't want to see you till tomorrow time. I also need about 45 minutes. I block out I say like an hour, but really it only takes between a half an hour to an hour, depending on if I have dishes to do or what I have to do. But that's the time where I do what I've been calling my closing shift for my house. I saw it on a video somewhere. I wish I could tag or credit the creator, but I don't remember who it was. But essentially, they treat it like like I used to work in restaurants, so it's kind of like the closing shift of my house. I can't leave the restaurant until I've done all my side work and my closing duties. So here I can't like go to bed until my house is closed down. So that means making sure that all the dishes are done for the night, picking up the living room, laying out my clothes for the next day and the kids' clothes for the next day, making sure their homework is packed, that they don't have toys all over the house, getting my office area set up, and picking up my bedroom and the bathroom. So those are things that I have to do every night before I can go to bed. I need at least 6 hours of sleep. And so I want to be in bed by 11 and asleep by midnight. That's kind of the idea that I have, is in bed by 11. So that's the time that I can read, watch an episode of something, and just kind of whatever I want to do, like crawling into bed. So that's kind of what my night looks like. So if I need an hour and I want to be in bed by 11, that means I have from 8 p.m. That's the only time I have for these other things, is from when they go to bed at 8 p.m. to when I start my closing shift at 10. And sometimes I'll reverse it. Maybe I'll do the cleaning beforehand and then I'll do stuff until 11. But either way, that's kind of like the schedule. So I have 2 hours to write, to edit videos, to work on my website, to do things. And knowing that and knowing how much time I realistically have, that has really helped me a lot. And then I also have the weekends where I don't work the weekends, but I do want to be present with the kids. Also, sometimes they just want to ignore mom and go play with their new PlayStation. And so those are times I can lay in bed and read, or I can also work on things. So I have kind of also, on top of knowing that I have only this limited amount of time, had to make a list of like every single day when I can kind of work on things and build out my content calendar for YouTube, knowing when I have to work on certain things for school and when I can work on things for the Indie Bookworm, and just kind of map it out. So on top of knowing that I have those 2 hours in the evening, I also have the weekend, and Sundays is the day that I will focus on doing stuff for the Indie Bookworm. Saturday is the day that I will focus on doing maybe some catch-up stuff for school, because a lot of my assignments are due by Sunday, like 9 p.m. And then throughout the week, that's when I will work on my priorities are the book, well, school and the book, and editing podcast episodes or YouTube videos. And for the most part, my filming I want to do during my lunch breaks. So I feel really good about this. I feel like it's doable. I just needed to be realistic about the amount of time that I have. And I feel like there is a way for me to get it all done as long as I have a plan and a schedule. And I know it's like a puzzle, and I had to like build the puzzle pieces and see where they all fit together. And now that I have that, I'm feeling really good about it. Which leads me to the last part of this video, which is just a quick writing update. I don't know if I posted a YouTube video about it or if I just talked about it in one of Inimitable Books live streams that I was on, but I was watching, I think it was like an Instagram story from Jessie Elliott, and she posted about this website Pacemaker, and I checked it out and I absolutely love it. And it is how I am figuring out my word count, and it lets you do 60 days for free for your plan. I didn't want to pay extra to be like, oh, how long will it take? You know, how many words do I have to write if I do like 3 months, whatever. So I came up with a really aggressive goal. I wanted to have the book written by the end of April, and I was working for it. I love it because when you update it, gives you like confetti and all of these fun like things when you write, and it tracks your streaks and your percentage of how close you are to being finished, and it's super fun. The only problem is I was going on a good track, and then my brain shut down and I went 12 days without writing anything. And it adjusts my goal. And I was kind of starting with like a little bit of words up to like a lot of words. And back to being realistic, I was sitting here and I was looking at it last night and I was like, this plan isn't going to work. I could do it if I didn't have all these other things going on that we already spent this whole video talking about. Sure, I could sit down and write 1,500 words on a weeknight, and 1,800 words, and then 2,000 words, and then towards the end it was like 3,000 and 4,000 word days, which I know a lot of writers here on YouTube can do that. But again, being realistic with my schedule and my time, when I look at that and I don't do it, I'm going to feel badly. And so I needed to redo the plan. And now my goal is to get it done by, I think, May 25th is my cutoff. I also lowered the amount of words that I want to write in that amount of time because I realized this draft is not good, you guys. Okay? There's a lot of telling, very little showing, and a lot of just like really shitty lines that are going to need to be fleshed out a lot. So I need to be realistic and not look at what do I want my actual like word count to be. I have an idea of what I want the final draft to be, but I need to make room for those words. So I need to lower down what I'm expecting from this first draft. Maybe it'll be over, maybe it'll be under, I don't know. but I have it right now at 70,000 words when it was 80, and I have a little over 60,000 words left to write. Something like that. So the way that I did it, I also was starting with like this plan that was like a little bit of words going up to like a lot of bit of words. And instead I'm going with something a lot more steady. So it tells me every single day of the week. So Sunday through Thursday. Is that how I did it? Or did I do Monday through Friday? No, Monday through Friday, I have to write 811 words. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I have to write like 1,600 words. So I think that's totally doable. And if I go over on my words one day, then it'll end up bringing everything down a little bit. So it just kind of plays around with your word count to account for your over and under days. So hopefully I won't have any more 0 word days. But like last night, by the time I was done, I wrote 158 words instead of the 800. I think it was supposed to be 803. And then it just took what I didn't write and added it and made all the remaining days bigger. So yeah, so that's basically it. That is the plan for the book. The reason I want it done by May 25th is one, because I didn't want to pay for the website. And 2, because I don't work during the summertime. So I would love to have this book finished before I go on my summer leave. That will actually give me about a little over a week from the time I end the draft to my summer leave starting, where I can just like put it away for a bit, and then I can really focus hard on editing during my summer break. So that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me during my coffee break. I have a lot of really fun videos planned for the next month, and I promise to be more consistent. I will also leave a link down below to where you can find the information about my new podcast. It is called the Random Randomness Podcast, as well as everything that I have for the Indie Bookworm. If you enjoyed this video, it was weird and rambling, chatty, and lots of caffeine. But if you enjoy these kinds of weird sit-down videos and you would like to follow along my journey while I'm doing vlogs and kind of fun sit-downs like this, then please subscribe to my channel and please give it a like, because I've been really struggling with the YouTube algorithm, and that will tell it that you liked this video. So if you liked it, go ahead and like it. And with that, my friends, you know what to do. Go write some words and read a book, and I will see you guys for another video on Monday. Bye!
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.